All right, people. We got to talk about why we suddenly went down so much after breaking 100,000. There's a bunch of resistances, but when once we broke it, we should have broke it for good, right? Wrong. First of all, I don't think it took us nearly as long as we thought to actually break $100,000. I thought we would have to attack it 4 or 5 times before we solidly cleared it, but we actually cleared it on the second try. However, it is a very, very big psychological level. And as such, there were probably a lot of people waiting for it to break. Also, I believe there were probably a lot of shorts stacked at around 100,000 because there were a lot of people that believed it would bounce back. It did bounce back the first time, so they made a lot of money, so they probably stacked it the second time. So, once we actually broke above 100,000, those probably started liquidating and it shot us up to 103,000 immediately. But then you got to remember there's a lot of people looking at that. A lot of people probably got in fairly early, way below 100,000, and they want to take profits because, suddenly shooting up that much, people have probably been waiting at least like a month or two for this to happen, and they want to lock in some profits, so we sold down. Now, after we got above 100,000, some people probably took a lot of longs thinking that we cleared 100,000 and then we're basically on our way up to 110 to 115,000. So once the profit taking started, we started liquidating a lot of those longs, and we liquidated the longs all the way down to the mid 90s or lower 90s on some exchanges, depending on how much leverage there was at those exchanges, how much people played futures. That determines whether you were on the higher end of the exchanges or lower end of the exchanges. Obviously, Coinbase and Binance had a lot of those people betting that once we got above 100,000, we would immediately go to 110 or 115. I did hear a lot of that in chat. They were like, if we clear 100,000, that will get us we're clear on our way to 110, 115. So a lot of people probably took longs and they got liquidated as we, dropped $1, $2, $3,000, and that escalated into $9,000 or $10,000. Does not mean the bull run is over. As you can see, we held in the mid 90s. We didn't really drop down to 80. Yes, I know there's a CME gap at 80. I don't think we'll actually hit it. There's always a chance that we do, but I don't think we'll actually hit that one at this time. I don't even think we're going to hit 90 on the congregate. Now, if you were on Binance, you were able to hit 90 for like a couple of seconds before it bounced back up. And of course, when people saw 90, they're like, ooh, it's cheap Bitcoin. It can go above 100 again. So they scooped it back up and we went above $100,000. So I don't really think it was manipulation. I think it definitely was. I mean, I'm sure that some of the exchanges did manipulate it a little bit, but I do think it was a lot of retail reactions. Now, the other thing is it didn't really flow into altcoins that much because the low of like 92, 90 on some of the exchanges didn't really last for more than 3 or 4 minutes. Or like even a couple of seconds sometimes. And it generally does take a little bit longer for altcoins to react. The other thing is I did see on some exchanges, some altcoins did actually react. Also, that the couple of minutes that we were down at 90 was not enough to change people's sentiment that overall cryptocurrency is in a very positive sentiment right now. And if we're in a positive sentiment, generally the alts are not going to follow Bitcoin as much on the way down. I think if the greed fear factor or the sentiment turns against us, if Bitcoin heads down, then the alts will follow down. I think Bitcoin has to go down for a couple days in a row to change the way that altcoins actually go. And since it popped back up to 97K, I think altcoins are adjusting, but they're not really going down in that specific adjustment. So I personally think that's actually what happened today. It was just liquidations one way. People put some shorts in, thinking it'll liquidate some more, and then liquidations the other way. And then it just jostled up in a while. And that's why we've been kind of volatile today. But ultimately we resulted kind of back where we were before this pump even started, around $96,000. And I think it will actually take us a little while to actually solidly go above $100,000. So let me know what you think. Like and subscribe, hit that bell notifications button. Thank you and have a nice day.